Hi, everyone. How are you today? Hopefully, you are doing well. I am doing not so great, but we are here to have some fun. We're going to chit chat. We're going to laugh at my silliness, and we're going to hopefully cut some paper and enjoy our time. I'm just um, doing things I should have done earlier. I am watching HSN. I was watching HSN on the computer. And then I was like, oh, I need to put it on the TV because I want to see what they have. Today is craft day. I liked it when it was quarterly craft day, but now it's not. It's more than that. So what we're doing is the title says it. Hopefully the title says it. We're making a box. We're gonna make a few boxes. And I don't have a template. I went online to Pinterest to find something, and I am going to just go ahead and put it out there. My search keywords are not the best apparently because I couldn't find what I was looking for, which is okay, no big deal. I'm not gonna cry about it. And I was like, you know what? Let's just see if I can't just do it by myself. So this is the second one I attempted. This is the first one that I attempted, and I think I got it. I mean, it's not too hard to make a box. But now we got to make a pretty box. This is a long box. I wanted them to be fairly short. I do have a few things that I am working on in the background. So I thought that this would be really, really fun to make. So if you want to craft along with me, you're going to need some paper, scissors, some type of adhesive, and some patience. I do want to say that I don't know how long I will be on today because I am having some head throbbing going on. But we're going to work through it. We're going to try to push through it. I think the more that my brain tries to do numbers and math and all that other stuff, it just doesn't work. So hopefully everyone had a safe, uneventful weekend. And if it was eventful, it was something really fun and cool. So our box measures 2 by 5, which is a good size, I think, to have. This is how it's going to look once we finish gluing everything down. And I do want the flaps, the longer flaps, to cover the short flaps. Although I really would prefer this portion covering up this. Good morning, ma'am. I hope you are doing well. I'm making it. I'm making it. That's all I can say. Today was a rough start of the week, but you know what? It's okay. Got through the first part, dropping a little guy off. Gotta get through this part, and we're gonna keep on moving. So, if you wanna, I know you're work. I know some of you are working, but the person I'm talking to now is Samara. I know that you're working, but this measures 9 by 12. If you're interested, and we're gonna go ahead and decorate this whole entire thing up. So, what you want to do is you're going to get 9 by 12, and then you just want to score it 2, 5, 7, 10 on the 12-inch side. And then on the 9-inch side, you want to score it at 2. And you can just rotate it and score it at 2, or you can just score it at 7. It depends on you. So I'm writing this down because, we're working from a nothing to make something. So it may take us a little while to get there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut just this little corner off. I even messed that up on the other box, but you know what? It's okay. I love your wand you put in there. I have some projects that I'm going to be posting on the last day of January because I want to keep everybody in suspense. No, they're for February. The videos are for February. So I'm going to keep it like that. And so this little piece we want to fold into here, as you can see. And so we're just going to cut this portion off like that. I tried to go live earlier and I pressed the wrong button, of course. Something happened. And then we're just going to do the same thing on this side. If you really want to, you can do it on both sides, but I like for my paper to grip a little something. So I'm not going to cut too much of it off. And then on this top flap, the same thing, just a little triangle. Oh, did you curse? I'm sorry to hear that. But if you hurt yourself, does it make the craft more worth it or less worth it? I tend to get angry when I burn myself. But dang, I hope your finger recovers. All right, so we got these sides and everything. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and glue our pieces down. And so for this piece, I dropped my paper. You're gonna need 3 2x5s, and you're gonna need 2 5x3s. So 5x3, 5x3. Now, if you don't want to decorate the bottom, which I wouldn't know why you would want to decorate the bottom piece, you only need 1. So you need 1 for this covering and 2. But if you want to open it up and have this decorated, less worth it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I working on a project and I actually burnt my finger too. I think it just makes me mad. Like, why? For me, I'm like, you got to pay better attention to that. So we're going to just do this. And you can decide on how many of those pieces that you would want to cut. But if you were going to cover up all of these, you would need 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. But for us, we're going to just assess it, not assemble, but kind of assemble. And so you need 1, 2, 3. So you need 2 short ones, which would be 2x5, and 1 5x3. And if you want to put a piece on the inside, that would be the same. So that's what we're going to do. Right now, we're going to go ahead and set it to the side. And we're going to pull out this really pretty can company, Tim Kofi. I looked him up on YouTube, and I tried to look him up before because he makes some really, really pretty stuff. But these people, I think, are much more older in the crafting company business. And so you may not. Oh, Lord. Now that would make me. I can see why you'd be upset. And this measures what, 5x7, 9, 10, 10 by 6. So 10 by 6, which is cool. Because you can probably get away with 1 sheet of paper. And so I love Can Company. I rarely find it. And when I do, I just lose my mind and buy as much as I can that's reasonably priced. And we all have our own price point. We all have our own price point. So this is actually not that long because you see it has this piece, which is fine. I think this would be really cool to use because, yeah, I like it. I don't know where I got it from. We can do this. And that would be cool because we can just leave this off. Or we can come down and cut this and leave this little fern piece off, which would be nice. Because we can have it. Well, we can see. I'm gonna pull out 2 sheets because she likes to waste paper like that. But yeah, oh, that's pretty too. I want to make some butterfly, some bee stuff, some hive things. So we'll see. I'm really trying to get better, and it seems like my body's rebelling at the moment. It's like, no, we need to rest. I want to rest. Like the other day, I slept into like 5 o'clock in the morning. I normally don't sleep in that late. I know 5 o'clock is really early, but I normally get up at like 4, but not this time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to trim this down to 5 inches. And actually, if you wanted to trim it a little bit to give it a little border and not have your paper fit so snug, you definitely could. And since we want to keep the pretty stuff over here, we're going to just rotate our paper. And I'm going to cut an eighth down just because I want to keep it. I want to have a little bit of the green showing. I like to base my paper patterns off of the base that I use versus the other way around. I think the base says a lot about the paper, so that's why we do it that way. And now this is going to be 3 inches. So let's get to this 3, and we're going to go down, go in 1/8 as well. And we got that one. And now what we're going to do is just cut this to 2, and we're going to go in 1/8 on this one as well. And now the same thing. We're just going to repeat that process. And the butterfly still ends up getting cut off. But you know, that's why they created glue and tape. We can always just stick it on there and move on. No need to fret. All right, so this is what I'm thinking. We're going to do this just like that, and it worked out great. First time for everything, right? We're going to put this not so pretty piece on the inside, on the outside. And we're going to put this decorative piece here. And you and I know what it says. And when a person receives it, they may feel the same way. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put all this stuff down and we're going to glue it. So we're going to put this one here. And the reason why I'm not upset that this is plain is because, you know, we're going to do a little bit of embellishing on top of it. A little bit of embellishing. So now I'm going to get one of my burnishers. I was working on a project and I was like, I need another bone folder. And I was thinking, you don't need another bone folder. Don't be stop being a bonehead. You don't need a bone folder. But I think that my current situation that I'm doing, I'm crafting in more than one location. And at first I was like, I need to have tools in both spots so you don't have to worry about missing something. But what I think I'm going to do is just put everything into like a little tote and just carry it up and down like that. Turn your blade around. Maybe you're cutting a lot of paper, but I think sometimes what happens is the blade is inserted in the wrong way. And that's what causes those paper trimmer issues. What I would recommend is if you do go to big box craft stores, is I always try to catch them when they have them like at Joe and Fabric half off or something like that. And I usually like I said last time, sticking it to the man by getting 2 for the price of 1, which I like in a coupon or whatever. And this will go here. So see, that is cohesive. And then the inside will be cohesive. Yeah, because I don't, I have words. I think that some things you do need more than one. I think you need 2 to 3. I personally believe you need 2 to 3 good pair of cutting scissors. And the only reason why I say that is because you don't want to get attached to one amazing pair of scissors and then something silly happens, like you cut paper, then fabric, then it's ruined or whatever, But some paper companies say that you can go back and forth, paper, fabric, paper, whatever. I tend to keep my fabric scissors, my paper scissors, except for this one. And I feel like these really work for me because, I'm left-handed. So for me, I need to have a short spot to cut, but I want to have a good cutting spot. I've purchased other scissors from big brands and, the things that they say that they could do for me. I didn't see it. But I think sometimes as a crafter, back in the day, I would go into the project assuming that it was going to look amazing. And no matter what paper pads you have, no matter how amazing the embellishments are, and no matter any of that stuff, the person that's crafting has to put something on it. Like if you're expecting for your projects to come out beautiful with just pretty paper and you just took a sheet of paper and glued it down, it's not always going to work out. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I got these amazing, supposedly amazing this or amazing that, and it's not coming out amazing. I was like, well, what's really the problem? And I think it was me assuming, I had assumed that the paper project that I was going to work on was just going to be great because I had one part of the greatness, the product, and that wasn't true. You need it yourself. You need to bring your own greatness to the table. Now, see, this is the part I don't like about. I just prefer if it was like this because I feel like this is more secure on the outside and it looks better, has a nice little edge versus the two meeting up right here. But if I wanted to do that, it would be a lot of paper finagling. Oh yeah, I have a lot of scissors and I need all of them because, you know, say you're working on a new project, for example, say you start messing with clay or something that you normally wouldn't use. You wouldn't use your quote unquote good scissors for that. I think that you would use your old, not so good scissors anymore for that. I'm gonna switch out the glues because we're trying to adhere this and we wanted to adhere down straight and nice. So I think that for me, I would use my not so good scissors on a project that I am experimenting around with and then use my good scissors for my projects that I'm more familiar with. And so here we got this. So I do want to say that I created this all on my own. I couldn't find a template. So I was like, let's just try to make one. I did see one online that I really, really wanted to copy, you know, and use as the tutorial for me, but I couldn't find one. So here we are making our own. And I will put all the information in the description box. I do have another video I need to go ahead and release, but I didn't type it up, all the information. And I'm sure this is easy to find on anybody's internet. So it's not like I've created or reinvented or anything like that. A wheel of anything besides, for me, confusion. I was like, why is this not working? But usually what I will do when I'm creating projects is I will look at the outcome and I try to see how the person got that answer. So, you know, like 2 plus 2 is 4. I try to figure out how 4 came about. Because, you know, you can get 4 with 1 plus 3, 3 plus 1, 0 plus 4, you know, all those different setups are 4 plus 0. And so that's how I always kind of look at these crafting projects. And I always think about how big I want my edges to be. If the edges are a certain amount, then all of the thing has to be a certain amount. And that's my whole focus. I always start off with the edges. And I'm like, okay, well, what about the center, the circumference, and all this other stuff? Because I did make another one. I was like, oh, it's too big. I don't like it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this on the inside here. I'm just going to glue this down. I said I was going to switch to my tacky glue, didn't I? No, because you know, she hard-headed. You can't tell grown folks nothing. Hard-headed. Right? All right. Now, if you wanted to do a different one with another crease in, that would be something you would definitely have to Google, Pinterest it or something, because she can't do that right now. She don't know how. But this is our finished box. I love it. I love all of it. If you want to go and be bold and do more, of course, you can cover the sides up and make it extra pretty. And you could use more of these sheets of paper. If you have any type of double-sided paper, you could definitely do that. Give me 1 second. Let me see. So, yeah, I've learned the hard way. Excuse me. I've learned the hard way not to worry about that. Worry about how you want to close your box, how you want to make the box look. I want to make another box from start to finish with everybody. Excuse me. All right, so there we go with that. And this is the first box I made. This box is 12 by 12 box. And they all come into handy because I'm going to do a box that I showed you all from Samara. I'm going to do that. But with these, I won't need these lids. I'll need the just release lids versus the fold over lids. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do this one. And for this one, you're going to need a sheet of paper that measures 9 by 12. I recommend your box base be sturdier than normal. So if you're used to using a flimsier sheet of paper to layer on, I do recommend a thicker, heavier duty box base. And we're using green because those two projects, we're going with the same amount, same type of project. All right. I don't know if I'm looking at the wrong, like when I Google stuff, not Google, on Pinterest, when I look it up, I'm not sure if I'm looking at the wrong thing or not, because I'm always like box, template, tutorial. I don't know. I like to look at the drawings. If someone has them, I like to look at those versus trying to figure out a YouTube video. It just makes it a lot easier. So we're going to go ahead and cut this to 9 inches. And so this was a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So we got 9 by 12 now. And pull out your score board. And on the 12-inch side, we're going to score 2, 5, 7, 10. Now, if you don't have a large scoreboard or something's wrong with yours, what you could do is just score at 2 and 5. Turn your paper and score at 2 and 5. Okay, because it's an even sheet of paper. So 2 and 5, it will work out just the same. I think sometimes when we make our projects, sometimes those are a little bit, people are like, okay, score, like I just said, 2, 5, 7, 10. But if you can make it easy, then make it easy. Then you're going to turn to the short side, the 9-inch side, and you're going to score at 2. And if you want to turn your paper and score at 2 again, or you can just go in 7. So basically 2 and 2 inches from the inside, outside. All right. And now what I'm going to recommend to you at this point is to go ahead and make sure your creases are really creased, right? So burnish as needed on each one of your score lines. I hadn't planned on leaving the house today, besides going to the grocery store, but I think I want to run and get some craft tools. No, I'm joking. I probably won't leave the house because this head of mine is, the congas are being played super loud and lovely. Usually I love listening to congas, just not in my head. So now that we've creased it and scored, we're going to do the same thing on this side. We want to break up our paper fibers as best as possible. Move this out the way. So last week we talked about inspiration and our in the process. So my thought was I saw something that I wanted to make and I could not figure out how to get to it. I clicked on the link and my spam alert thing went off. So now we're going to pick another sheet of paper and I think we're going to want to make this. Yeah, let's just keep it simple and not stressful. You know, this would be really pretty. That would be really nice. So, but we're going to keep that same sheet of paper. And we're going to measure it and cut the same way. If you make multiple of these, I recommend you doing all of the scoring one time. Get all your papers cut, get all your papers score, do all the things that you need to do. Don't do a whole complete project and then do another one like I just did. And the reason why I did that is because I was just showing you all what it was that we were going to be doing. All right, so now we're going to come over here and score this 1/8 from 5. All right, and now we're going to do 1/8 from 3. 1/8 from 2. You know, I got the paper cutting down. It doesn't matter that it's crooked. It's crafted straight, right? So I'm going to make a shirt that says that my lines are crafted straight. See how that works out for me. All right. So now that we got that, because we're only going to do those two, and we're going to go ahead and cut our lines. So right here, like the scissors, right? In my case, I like my little short scissors, but I would use a longer pair of scissors. Because I feel like if you use longer scissors, your lines won't get cut as crooked because you can get one straight cut versus 2 to 3 cuts. Hopefully that makes sense. I like to make sure that all of my stuff lines up and I score properly because sometimes one little off score can mess up your entire project. Yeah, that's crafted straight. Like I think that if you make a project super straight, somebody like, where'd you buy it from? I think that I think this about professional crafters too. If you don't have one flaw in it, is it really handmade? Because I've seen professional craft stuff from people, and it's hasn't been like as we think it's super duper perfect. It hasn't been. Now, if you want to get into being extra fancy, you could definitely ink up your edges. As you all know, I'm not a big edge inker on some things, and then I'm super edge inker on the other. So it just depends. I'm not sure if any of you are in any of the bad weather locations. If you are, I hope that you get power back if you don't have it back yet. All those things that we need, the necessities, I hope that you're able to get those as soon as possible. I hope that everyone's staying safe from the weather, and we have all this other stuff going on. Thankfully here, it hasn't been too stressful and too bad when it comes to our weather. Right now, it's cold. Don't get me wrong, it is cold, but for me, by living in different parts of the world and country and the states, I'm okay with it. I have different layering items. My son, who seems to be hot natured, refuses to put a coat on, refuses to put on long pants, refuses to want to wear his long sleeve shirts. And then when we go outside, he wants to run back in because it's cold. It's really cold outside. Now we have this. This looks really fun and great. Hi, Nix. How are you today? Hopefully well. Just cutting some paper. Hi. Can you please tell me your name so I can ask you that 1,000 more times? I probably know it, but don't know it. Does it make sense? We're making boxes today with no templates. So I, I'm hurting, but I'll be okay. Heather. Okay. I like that name. I like Heather. I don't know why. And you know what's funny? I think of so many different Heathers that I've bumped into and met in my lifetime. See, we didn't score this. Did we not score our sides? Like, what's really going on? Oh, we didn't score the sides properly all the way. I mean, burnished them in. So let's go ahead and do that. Welcome in. Anyone got anything on their agenda besides getting some tacos for Taco Tuesday? Oh, I'm off a little. I mean, what's new, right? But I'm off a little. So you see how you're off right here? A good way to fix that. Well, I'm off. You're not. A good way to fix that is some trim, lace, some pearls, embellishments, a big flower that hurt, all kinds of stuff. I'm not sure if you all buy craft supplies, right? I know you do, but I'm being funny. Um, what influences your craft purchase? Do you buy things based on someone's haul that you've seen, based on the things that you think you want to try and do? Like, what would influence your craft purchase? For me, a lot of things come into play, but often I often think, how easy is this going to be, right? For example, if I am going to do die cutting, I have a die that I purchased in a D stash, and it's a really pretty die, but I don't get it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And not like, oh, this is a crazy looking die. More so like, why would I ever do this with this die is more so how I feel about it than anything. But it could be a good layering piece. Oh, you don't. Since when? Since 5 seconds before you type that statement. No, seriously, like, so I went to Hobby Lobby last week and I looked at everything that they had. No, I went to Hobby Lobby 2 weeks ago and I looked at everything they had and I didn't buy anything. But then I was told that they had some of their Valentine's Day stuff on not clearance, on 40% off. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go back and see what I can see to buy. I still didn't buy anything because, I like to get inspiration. But the minute they put that stuff on clearance or half off or 60% off, I'm going to buy. I know I'm going to buy something. Well, maybe not, because I have a lot of Valentine's Day stuff that I'm trying to work through. I think, yeah, so I'm hoping that I can catch whenever they put their Christmas stuff on clearance, their Christmas dies on clearance, because they brought back some of those expired Sizzix Tim Holtz dies, and they got the guy walking with the Christmas tree. I think the thing is, I didn't cut this. Okay, make sure you cut all your stuff first, right? Um, I don't know if I really would want that, considering I have a die cut, a paper die cutting machine. I don't know if that's necessary. Some of the things that I really, really like, I'm not sure if that's necessary, because I could probably cut them out on the scan and cut, and not those particular images, but like a gingerbread house. I probably could cut out a house shape, run the house shape through a regular embossing folder, and this is wrong. This is wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick. So this is the bottom of the box, not the top. The top shouldn't have any support. The bottom of the box should. So I messed that up. But we fixed it before it got too bad. It wouldn't have mattered if I hadn't put anything on there, but I like to work on the surfaces when they're flat first versus all put together. So yeah, like for me, I like to go and look even if I don't buy anything, because I like to, I think my inspiration comes when I'm at the craft store for whatever reason, purchasing or not purchasing. And now lately I've been like, okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to take a few pictures and see what I can do, because Pinterest is not being my friend lately. Like we're at conflict for some reason. Pinterest wants to do whatever it wants to do, and that's not great. You know, it's because if I type in Valentine's Day card, the first thing that comes up for me is somebody's Etsy shop. I So then I have to go back and type in DIY and this and that to get what I'm actually looking for. I don't know. So hopefully you all have enjoyed this process. We got two boxes, two pretty boxes. I'm biased today. I'm going to just go ahead and say that. Now see this right here. You see that? We can cut this if we want. We could definitely cut these sides if we want to. I don't want to cut them because I just don't. But I didn't glue something down properly, so I need to glue it. You may have to cut these down. See, I like for the box to have a clean finish, like a clean side. Yeah, you know, I had talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I use DuckDuckGo now. And so with DuckDuckGo, it will take all the ads away. So when you pull up Pinterest, if you use it as your homepage or maybe your search engine, and you open it up under DuckDuckGo, it'll take all of those things away, like all the ads. You get 0 ads. So I changed my search engine to that because one of my friends was like, oh yeah, my son recommended this to me, and that's what I use. Come on. All right. So I think we'll try a different box. Like we're making boxes from no template. And look, I like this a lot. So as you all know, I'm not a 3D person, so you know I'm making these for people to send out. They came out good. If they would have came out like crap, they would have been going in the trash. Yeah, duck, duck, go. Like you remember when you were in school, duck, duck, goose, but duck, duck, go. So let's move on to the next thing. I really wanted to do some coloring today because, you know, my head was hurting and I was like, and I was like, we'll see what we can get done. Because I don't plan on being on too long. I'm only going to give it an hour and then we'll go from there. So the next one I'm going to do is the same concept, but smaller, I think. Yeah, that was not, I put this in the wrong spot. Oh, we got those two boxes. I like these boxes. When I make something and I'm like, oh, I did a good job. I'm like, oh, I like it. I shouldn't be like that though, because I should just go with the flow, right? Like assume that the project is not going to be a flop. All right. So I think we're going to try not to fall out the chair. We're going to go with I'm going to do this one, and it's going to be 12 by 10. Okay. So I'm writing these down as I do them. Just going to go on the back. All right, so we're going to cut this to 10 inches first. That's what I thought I had did the first time. You know, I actually love watching haul videos for all the wrong reasons, though. All the wrong reasons. I like watching haul videos, not so much anymore to go shopping, because I watch, like with the haul videos, I would love watching Tuesday morning hauls because you get to see if they have good stamps on sale. A lot of people aren't stampers like I am. So I have to actually go in the store and look around and see in some of the places, but I like them for that purpose, to experience shopping without shopping. They are enabling videos though, for the most part, because they enable us to go and spend money that we might not have spent. I remember I was watching something, it was like you can save X, the person was like, I saved $20 at the store, and the person said if you wouldn't have went, you would have saved way, way, way more than that. All right, so what I'm doing now, I'm going to share with you all my process on how I think about the box. So this box, we're going to fold it like this, the same as the other ones, right? So I'm like, okay, how do I want it to be? How much space do I want to be able to put stuff in? And so we're going to go with the exact same concept of the other boxes. It's just going to be a flip over box, not a top and bottom. We may be doing that in 2 weeks. Next week, I think I'm going to just do, we'll see. Because I want to do this purse. I have to find the thing, and I have to redo the purse before I make the purse with you all, so I can just get familiar with it and it don't look like I'm not sure what's going on. So yeah, so we're going to go on our 12-inch side. And on our 12-inch side, we got to think about it. So we're going to automatically do 2 inches. I mean, we could do 1 inch, but I feel like that lip on the 1 inch is just not the prettiest. So we're going to do 2 inches. Okay. Automatically doing 2 inches. So no need to worry about anything else besides that. Let's do our numbers. So now we have this to work with. So we have a 10-inch box, right? That we just took down. Now it's 8. And how much space do we want to have on the inside is what we have to think about. All right. So we're going to go. This is where this math comes in that I do not like. So since we have 8 inches and we need to have a space on the inside, we could do, again, 5 and 7. But the box is going to look a bit weird. So let's do, I guess we could try 5 and 7 and see how it's going to look. I think that's going to be weird. And then we're just going to turn our paper and do 2 inches around. Now on the sides, you really don't have to have 2 inches, but I like to have 2 inches. I'm just going to rotate it for 2 inches. I asked one of my friends, I said, how's your Valentine's Day crafting going? And she was like, I haven't started yet. So the next day she wrote me and she was like, how's your Valentine's Day started yet? I was like, I haven't started yet. But I recently made a few things because I'm working on a project for y'all for February. Hopefully you like it. All right, so let's see. Yeah, it's the same exact thing. Just going to be a longer box. And if you were doing like some sort of swap, this would be cool because you could have this box with this length, this box with that length, and then this box with this length. So that'd be really cool, like, you know, a 3 something. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and move on. I only have one brown sheet of paper. So we're gonna go ahead and just maneuver all our creases and folds so that they crease and fold nicely. And I'll keep on working from there. Just like that. And so they all fold over really nicely. Now, I know you're probably thinking, brown is such a fall color. Well, brown could be used in anything you want. Like if you put this brown box and pink on it, could be a box of chocolates, right? So, you know, don't think that brown can't be used in any other seasons besides fall, even though this would have been really great for a base of a tree. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that. I'm just cutting. Anybody crafting along? Nix is probably working out. No, Samara's working. Heather, I'm not sure what you're doing. Do you craft along or do you tend to watch? Whenever someone's live streaming like craft stuff, I usually watch, unless they're doing like a mixed media project. Then I kind of really focus in on what they're doing. Depends, because I watch people do mixed media. I'm like, I don't like it. Like I didn't like the project that they made. I think mixed media is like one of the things that I really, really like to watch and see and wouldn't mind dabbling in, but I feel like it gets so messy. Your fingers get messy, especially if you're having a good time. If you're having a good time, then yeah, you are. Oh, you get ready for work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But you know, you gotta pay your bills. You gotta buy craft stuff. Work is a necessary evil, right? A necessary evil, like the dentist and the physical therapist, chiropractors, all those people that love beating us up and say it's for science. Okay, so I'm just creasing that again. All right. I do have to tell y'all, we will not be making any boxes. I mean, any books today. So no books. I'm not booked out. I just don't want to make any. Yeah, no books today. Yeah, work is, unfortunately, we need work because we want to buy stuff. We want to have nice things. So we need work, right? All right, so let's see how wide these are. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, 6 by 3. Did I square this at 2, 5, and 10? I know I squared it at 2. No, it couldn't have been. 2, 5, 7. Forgot where I scored it at. That's horrible. My brain. Yeah, same thing. 2, 5, and 2. This is the part that I hate to have you all, watching, because I don't know. All right, so now we're going to cut this, and these are going to be 6 by 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we did last time, basically. Same exact thing. I think I done broke my trimmer. My lever is not acting right. The good thing about Fiskars is you have a lifetime warranty. So you can always contact them and let them know and see what you got to do to get a replacement. I had to contact them before on a stamp set and I got a replacement. So I love them. I love them. I was hesitant about actually cutting this paper earlier because I was like, oh, I cut that too. Shoot. I was like, do I want to keep this and make a card? But I have a Stampin' Up! Sunflower stamp that I could use. It's not like this because I'll be coloring it, of course, but it will get the job done. And even with this, like we can put in this box, we can actually put these sunflower stamps images, or I have a paper punch as well, punch them out. And if you're giving them away to someone, they can make their own flowers. So it's like a win-win. Yeah, I love sunflowers for whatever reason. I would normally not be like, oh, yeah, sunflowers are amazing, but I like them a lot. And see, with this, you can find a yellow sheet of paper and put them on your sides if you really, really wanted to cover up all of the sides that you have. Or you can take another sheet of paper and do that. We're just going 1/8 from 3. I know that's a number, a mathematical number, but we're going to do it this way. Now, see, the only thing about some of the papers that is directional, come on, trimmer. Just leave it alone. And so it was designed to be like this, but we need all the paper we can get, so we're not about to be messing with that. So here we go with our front piece. And it works out great. Today, the crafting paper trimmer score gods are with me. They're not with my stream, but they are with me today. Did you? And what happened? Why you stopped growing them? I want to know. I always thought sunflowers were kind of like weeds that just grow randomly. But I guess I'm wrong if you were growing them. Okay, so we got this here. Top. So it's going to inside. Okay. I have such a hard time getting anything to live that's plant-like. And I don't know if I oversaturate, undersaturate, oversun, undersun. Like I have a plant now that's still in its infancy. And it should be I've had it for a year now. it should be growing. It's a ivy. It should be growing all over the place. But I recently repotted it like a couple of months ago, and now because my uncle's like, you don't have to water it that often, so I'm letting it die first, basically. Seem like, but now I'm like, okay, no, it looks like it needs some water. I just checked the soil and I put some Miracle Grow plant stuff in there. And what I'll do, probably in March or April, I'll repot it again into a bigger pot, and then I can let it go outside. But the Texas heat, woo, you know, if you live anywhere hot, like I feel like Florida is hot. I've never been there besides lost in a car, so I don't even consider that a thing. But the two for sure spots that I can always say are hot because I can speak from experience is Texas and Vegas. I've been to Vegas. Oh my goodness! At 8 o'clock in the morning, I left out my hotel room, and I swear someone took my lungs and deflated them because I could not breathe. It was just that hot. It was like it's hot, like you lost all your breath. So when I was there, I was like trying to stay in the hotels, like walking through and down in the underground passages they had created and everything. I didn't see one celebrity. Oh, that'd be so cool. So if you plant wildflowers, when do you need to plant them? Like, when is the best time to plant them? Because they say if you want this to grow, you plant them in this month, and if you want this to grow, you plant them in that month, like that. Versus other. Oh, you grew up in Vegas, so you know about that heat, huh? Whew. I don't know how it feels when it's cold in Vegas, but I went in August. Oh goodness, I think it was August. Okay, we're not gonna do the same thing we did last time and not cut this. Let's go ahead and do that now. So hot. Oh my goodness. I want to go again for all the wrong reasons. Well, I want to go see one of the people I recently made that I consider like a close friend. I want to go there to visit, and then I want to go to have this stamp store that is supposed to be like the best thing in the whole wide world. I want to go for that. So I'm really going for the craft store. So that's really bad, right? That's not good. But I want to go. I do want to go. At first I want to go and visit all of the wax museums, Madame Tussauds. I think that's how you pronounce it. All of the wax museums that they had. But quickly changed my mind considering I don't feel like traveling to certain places. But in the States, if they have a few, I wouldn't mind going. Once, we can travel properly. Because you can travel now, you can do whatever you want now, but I want to be able to travel properly and not be concerned. So I don't know how long that's going to be. I think it's going to take a while if it ever happens again. And if it never happens, I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm paying money because that wax museum is not cheap at all. Not cheap. So I'm okay. I went to the one in New York first, and I think I've been there twice now. And it was such a good time, a good, interesting time. Some of those people look so real, and some of them look like the artist was like, I'm just going to do my own interpretation of how this person looks. So I also wouldn't mind going to a few museums in New York that I would like to go to, a few of the art museums. And I really want to take my son to the Bronx Zoo. It's like they have a TV show. I haven't watched it in a while, but they have, the Bronx Zoo has a television show. And I just love the energy that the cast have, the people that are there. And I like going to museums anyway when I'm traveling and I live in different spots. I love going to the museums. and just seeing what they have. I went to visit. We went to Canada before, and we went to the Natural Science Museum. It was so nice to see. And then, they have some animals that you can actually touch and see. So my coworker and I were there, and the lady was like, "Oh yeah, you can put your hand in." It was frogs, right? And the frog jumped on his finger. I was like, "Ah!" He didn't freak out, but I did. He was like, "Go ahead and put your hand." I was like, I'm not about to be frog food. I was like, that's just so gross. Even though I like frogs, but just thinking about a frog trying to eat your finger, not for me. Not for me. But I do love museums. I enjoy them. All right. Let's see. Why is this not sticking? Not going down properly. We know I scored pretty decent today, so I don't know. I shouldn't have said that the craft gods were shining on me. Yeah, he got his finger chunked. I was in Madagascar before. Was it Madagascar? I think it was Madagascar. And my friend and I were at the museum. They have a monkey exhibit. And they tell you, my dumb butt, they tell you don't do certain things, don't have food and stuff like that, because they'll take it. So one of the monkeys ran up on me, right, and took my tried to take my plastic bag, and I didn't have any food, and I had junk like souvenirs and stuff like that in it. And I was like, get back. Like, I may find that clip and post it in the Discord, in the thing. Look at this. I don't know about you all. I'm not sure if anyone was cutting paper with me. And if you weren't, that's fine. But I am really proud of us, okay? Because we made these things from, you guessed it, that's right, scratch, honey. Like some cornbread, hot water cornbread from scratch. That's what we did. Scratch. All right, so I am done. I want to make some cards next week, something easy peasy, but I also want to do some 3D projects. So we'll see. And I haven't colored in a while, so maybe we'll do that. So anyway, if you have any questions, leave them. Let me know what y'all want to see before I sign off. Heather, I hope you have a great day at work. It's not too stressful. Whoever you're working with, they don't get on your nerves. If you have a lot of customers or clientele, they're not too annoying. Samara, same for you. Nix, I hope you have a great day. Everyone that came in, everyone that's hang out with me. I want to say, oh yeah, I like animals. They're so beautiful. I like them. I do want to say thank you so much for your support. And I have plans. I have big plans. I'm not going to say them out loud because then I'll get sick and I won't be able to do them. But I have big plans. And tomorrow I'll be sending you some more emails later on today, or text messages. I need some information from you. So anyway, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you later on today in a pre-recorded video for the Jewelry Making Fun collaboration. Until then, happy crafting.